Hi everyone, this is Nia and today we're going to paint some hanging plants. I've been practicing to paint more loosely recently and I thought I'd try to paint this in a loose style, but since I'm not good at spacing, I'm just going to very lightly sketch out some pots and also add a bit of a guideline for the silhouette of the plants, but I'm not going to draw them in detail. This is just to help me space out the pots so I have a better visualization before painting. And if you feel like you need the outline, I'll have it available in my coffee shop. I wanted to vary the shapes of the pots, and initially I wanted to play with the size as well, but later as I paint, I felt like the size ended up looking a bit too similar to each other. So just a heads up, if you want to paint along, you might want to pay attention to this a bit more than I did. For the plants, I also want to indicate the ones which are going to cascade down the pots, and I also want to create a light indication of the leaf shapes. I actually use this image for loose reference, at least for the type of plants, because I like the variety, and I'll link this in the description box. Next, let's go over the colors I'll be using. Firstly, this is Yellow Ochre by Holbein, Crimson Lake by Holbein, Prussian Blue by Holbein, Aquarius Green by Szmal, and Hansa Yellow Medium by Daniel Smith. I'm going to start by dampening the surface, and since the leaves are going to be rounded, I'm going to imagine to paint these leaves just with water, and I want the surface to be dampened but not puddling. For the green, I'm going to use Aquarius Green with Prussian Blue, and I'm going to start with a thin consistency. And now I'm going to spread some leaves and paint them on the damp surface, and I'm just simplifying the shapes as these ovals or circles. And towards the center, I'm going to leave out a little bit of space so it doesn't just become one big blob. At this point, I want to focus more on the edges, and once I have a pretty good base, I'm going to use the exact same color mixture in a thicker consistency and start to paint in between some of the leaves. This is just to indicate which ones are in front and which ones will be at the back. This is still very loose though, and I'm going to leave it to dry and move on to the next plant. I'm going to start with the same method, imagining the shape of the leaves. If you can't see, these are just long leaves which are going to slightly drape on the sides, starting with the damp surface, and for this one I just added Hansa Yellow to the previous color mixture to vary the green. Looking back now as I'm voiceovering, I realize I pulled too far to paint these leaves, which is one of the reasons why the size will no longer be smaller compared to the other plants. So please take care of this base color if you're painting along. Now moving on to the next one, I added more Aquarius Green and Hansa Yellow. This is just to change the ratio for, again, a different green. And for these ones, I want the plants to be a bit longer and wider compared to the second. And I also want it to cascade around the pot, so some are in front and some leaves are behind the pot. For the ones behind, just be careful to not paint over the pot. For this one, I want the plant to also cascade down, but I want the leaves to be thinner and longer. So I'm making sure the lines that I paint are not too thick, and just be very mindful of this because with a larger brush, it can be very easy to accidentally paint something that's too thick. So if this is one of your concerns, feel free to switch to a smaller brush. I actually made the same mistake for this one. In the beginning, I felt like the lines aren't nice and thin enough, but once I added more and I became more loose with it, I think I accidentally added too much pressure to my brush, which made this plant look bigger than I intentionally wanted to. For this last one, I want the leaves to be thicker so they stand a bit better, and I also want the leaves to be a bit more oval in shape, like the reference. I want to mix purple and green for the color of the leaves, and I'm just going to indicate it very lightly so I have a better representation of the placement. Some leaves are the muted light green, and others are purple from a mix of Prussian Blue and Crimson Lake. Next, I'm going to work on the second layer once everything is completely dry and start to show a bit more form to the plants. Here, I'm just adding the darker tones using the same color mixture. At this point, I still wasn't sure what I'm going to do next, so I'm going to move to the first plant where I have a better image in my head. I also realized that the brush was too big, so now I've switched to a smaller synthetic brush where I have a bit more control. Now moving to the first plant again, I'm using the same mixture of Aquarius green and Prussian blue. I'm starting with a thin consistency to somewhat paint a thin outline, and then using a clean damp brush to pull the colors inwards, following somewhat the veins of the leaves and leaving the center as the base color. At this point, I want to be mindful of how the leaves overlays on top of each other. It might be easier to actually paint the ones which are going to be in front, then work your way to the back, but here I just decided to paint per section. Along the edges, I added some flatter leaves so it looks like it's seen from the side, and this is just to add a bit more variety to the placement of the leaves and also to give a more interesting edge. Once I feel like I have a pretty good amount of leaves painted, I'm going to paint in between some of the leaves using a darker version of the same color, and this will just add depth. Moving along to the next one, I'm going to add a bit of Crimson Lake with Aquarius Green and Hansa Yellow and use a medium consistency to outline some of the leaves of the plants. And since the edges of the lines are quite harsh, I'm going to go back in with a clean damp brush to smudge some of the edges inside. Then, while the surface is still a little bit damp, I'm going to take a darker version of the same color, darkening one side of some of the leaves and also the center of this plant where all the leaves gather. Just like with the lighter colors, I like to smudge some of the edges, especially towards the center. And to smudge, again, I just use a clean damp brush. As the leaf starts to take form, I like to enhance the overlapping leaves with more dark green, so it has a bit more definition. Let's keep moving to the next one. At this point, I have a lot of tones of greens already on my palette, so I'm just going to pick the ones that I want and add other colors if I feel I want certain tones. If you want the green to be a little bit more bluish, then just add more Prussian blue. If you want it to be more muted, add Crimson Lake, and so on. Now for this one, I'm going to paint small single leaves, aren't like the larger ones that we've painted earlier. I like to first paint a really thin line for the main stem, then just paint the leaves at the top and on either side. For the stem, it might be difficult to paint using this size brush, so you can always switch to a size 0 if you would like. But if you want to practice to paint thin lines with larger brushes, make sure to use a dry brush load so your bristles come to a very fine point and it's not holding extra water or paint. For these leaves, I'm using a medium consistency, but looking at this again, I would prefer this to be done in a lighter consistency so I can build up on the layers bit by bit. But it's too late now, so I'm just going to work with what I have and add on the darker details once I'm done distributing a good amount of the leaves. With the darker colors, I like to place it at the center. I like to try to paint negatively so it looks like shadows underneath certain leaves. This is also where the leaves gather, which is why there's less detail being shown to reduce clutter. At this point, I feel like I've added too much paint, and to reduce the color and also the mess, I just decided to dab it off with tissue to get the excess paint. But anyway, moving on, for this plant, I want the color to be slightly brighter, which is why I added Hansa Yellow to the mix. And I'm going to treat this similarly to the previous plant, but since I want the leaves to be much smaller, I decided to treat it or simplify it by treating the smaller leaves as clumps of leaves of the main stem instead of painting tiny individual ones like the previous plant. I decided to think of single ferns and painting the frilly edges of the silhouette and then softening the inside edges with a clean damp brush whenever I feel like the area looks a bit too busy. For this plant, I also decided to use different tones of greens just for more variation, and I like to think about the very tip of these plants to make sure they look nice and delicate. And I also like to add a bit of a wave or a curve to them, and this addition will just help these leaves to look a bit more natural and organic. Now for this last plant, I'm going to again outline parts of the leaves, smudge the inside edges, but leave out a bit of a light base color still showing at the center as a long line. I'm not sure what type of plant this is, but I was just following the idea from the reference image. It seems like this plant has some line textures, and that's how I've decided to simplify and depict it. For the purple, I realized that using too much Prussian blue will make the color stand out a bit too much compared to the green, so I neutralize it slightly by adding a bit more Crimson Lake in the ratio and also more of the yellow-green mix. And this addition of the yellow-green mix into the purple actually really helps with making the color consistent with the green, so it looks like one plant instead of two separate plants. At the bottom here, I decided to use a thicker consistency of the same color mixture. This just makes it look less flat. After I have a better visualization of all the plants together, I was quite concerned about the space that I have on the bottom right. So I tried to extend some of these leaves downwards just to fill in a bit more space. And while I think about what to do with this space, I'm just going to add another layer for extra details, but I still try to not overwork it. This is just to clean out a bit more of the edges for the leaves that I've already painted and just add some more darker values here and there. I really tried my best to not overwork it, so before I do that, I'm just going to paint the pots first. For the first color, I'm going to use a mix of yellow ochre with a bit of crimson lake and a touch of Prussian blue. I'm going to use a very thin consistency and a fairly light brush load so I can create some dry brush edges for the center. Then on the stamped surface, I went back in with a slightly thicker consistency on the bottom, left, and the right side, while leaving the center still fairly light, so it looks like the pot is rounded. The next pot will be the same color mixture with a bit more crimson lake in the ratio, and again I'm going to start with a light consistency to dampen the surface, then use a thicker consistency of the same color to paint around the plants. For this particular plant, you want to be fairly careful with the edges of those leaves, make sure they still look textured. Moving on to the next plant, still with the same mixture, but this time I've added yellow ochre for a more golden or a bronze color. I felt like my brush was a little bit too wet, so I'm just going to wait for it to dry and move on to the next one, in which case I just use a mix of yellow ochre and a bit of crimson lake for this terracotta color. Then I added more crimson lake for the shadows underneath the leaves. For this last one, I decided to use a gray tone, so this is just the same mixture with more Prussian blue this time, starting with a thin consistency as the base, then I just use a thicker consistency to paint around it. Moving back to the pot below, now that it's not as damp, I just use a medium consistency of the same color mixture to paint some lines, and I'm going to dry it off completely since it was still a bit too damp, then added a thicker consistency before smudging the lines. If I were to paint this again, I would suggest to use more of the orangey reddish tones for the pots because I feel like this tone contrasts the green of the plants much better compared to the grayish and the cool tones of the gray pot at the top and the muted brown at the bottom. So just have a think about this when you're painting your own version. Once the pots are painted, I feel like some of the plants look a bit too flat, so here I'm going back in with a thicker consistency or darker value of whatever the plant color was, and this will just redefine certain shapes and enhance the form. I like to place these darker values where the plants gather, especially between the leaves and near the pot. I really try to minimize the darker tones though because I tend to overwork my paintings, so I really tried to limit this even though parts of me really wanted to just keep adding more. At this point, I was still trying to salvage the painting by bringing this plant a bit further downwards. So I added a darker value and just adding little squiggles and also some dots so it kind of looks very light and delicate. And while I contemplate some more, I'm going to add a bit more details and also add the ropes holding up these plants. To paint the ropes, I like to use a mix of yellow ochre and crimson lake, and if I want the color to be a bit darker and a bit more of a muted brown, I would just add a little bit of Prussian blue. Personally, I don't really know how the plants usually hang, so I'm kind of making things up, but if you have a better imagery in your head, go ahead and create your own designs for these ropes. Once I've painted the lines and designs for the ropes, I felt like they look too flat and it looks like it's merged into the pot, so I'm going to use a darker brown, so it's the same mixture with added Prussian blue in a thicker consistency to paint under some of the lighter ropes. Here I just kept trying to figure out ways to balance out the composition, so I thought of adding a rope design which didn't end up making a lot of sense. Initially I wanted these ropes to hold smaller plants at the bottom, but I don't think it worked out. I also tried to fill in the space with some splatters to add some looseness to the painting, but I felt like it didn't end up working because the plants are fairly dynamic already and it's already taking up a lot of weight and space due to their size. So I would actually skip the splatter as well if I do this again or if you want to repaint this. And at the very end, I looked at the reference and they have some plants on the floor as well. So this is what I'm going to add. I'm not going to show the whole floor, but just parts of the leaves. This is just to balance out the space, but I tried to not include too much detail so it doesn't take away from those hanging plants. I'm using more or less the same method, but this time I painted it without dampening the surface because I don't want these leaves to take extra space. So I just initially painted it with a really thin consistency before building up on a slightly darker value, but as I mentioned before, I try to not add too much detail here. I'm just going to treat the leaves on the left more or less the same way. You can see that I'm not going to define the leaves any further on the banana leaves, so some areas are kind of blurry and I just want these leaves to somewhat look out of focus and in the background, so it looks kind of separated from the hanging plants. I'm just going to add some final touch-ups and that's it for this one. Though this painting is not my favorite, I feel like this was still such good practice for me to get used to painting in a looser manner. I now quite like the idea of starting with a wet on wet base before adding the details. I personally feel I need so much practice still, and feel free to give your input in the comments if you have the same struggles with this as well. I hope this was informative for you, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing for more. Like usual, the list of tools as well as my social media links will be in the description box. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye!